Hello and welcome to yet another video, and in this video I'll be talking about this camera bag right here. It's the Lowepro ProTactic 450 Mark II or version 2. This bag is really well built in my opinion, and I have been using bag for a little while now, so I would like to actually share some of my thoughts, opinions, the pros and cons, share my conclusions with you about this bag. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the Lowepro ProTactic 450 version 2, now this bag has been out for a little while now, I know, but I also have been using this camera bag for a little while now as well, so I feel like just sharing some of my thoughts with you guys in case you're actually looking to get this bag, and also in case this video might be a bit of help to you guys. And this video will just be purely based on how I shoot, use this bag to go to shoots, whether it's personal or professional shoots, and the pros and cons based on how I use this bag. So this bag is, it's a really big and heavy bag to actually begin with, but it is a bag that actually also screams camera bag in my opinion. A lot of people say it is discreet, and it's kind of discreet with the actual black design and really kind of minimal pouches, sections rather, but it is also like a really well protected and tough design. Unlike some other Lowepro camera backpack, for example, this one actually stays pretty much in its own shape even when you don't have gear. For example, if you compare to this one actually, like, I don't know, it's not so, the actual structure integrity of it is just not as sturdy as this one. And this one, you can just feel like you can travel with this camera bag and throw it from, like, you know, one place to another without really worrying too much about the gear inside, just simply because of how really strong the structure integrity of this camera bag is. And there are some little ports here for quick access, and there are also some little pockets here that you can put other stuff, smaller stuff like maybe hand sanitizers in there, over here at the waist belt or waist strap, which is also removable, by the way, which is good, because to be honest, I'm really annoyed by this, but I do keep it on simply because I can put stuff in there. But in terms of the actual design, it's a little bit too short or too small in my liking, so it's best to either remove it if you don't need the extra pockets here. But I do need the extra pockets, so I just have to live with the annoyance of having it. And on the sides here, it's also really nice that you can actually access these flaps. I don't know how you call it, like wings or flaps, I don't know. Like, some people call it flaps, some people call it wings, some people call it extra section, so side section, things like that. So yeah, it's also really nice and easy to access. But what I don't like about the design on this part is the actual zippers here. The zippers here, I wish they were like some sort of weather sealed, like some other Lowepro camera bags. There are these sealings where, like, when you zip it up, it's sealed, so you don't need to always put on the rain cover when it's raining, and this will just give you like a basic level of protection pretty much. And this one, the zippers are all exposed, which means that you can't really take it through a lot of rough environment without putting on like the rain cover, so that's the downside. And when you do look inside, sometimes you can see through the light through the zippers, so it just like, it's kind of like the downside of the build quality in my opinion, because this is such a rugged bag, but the zippers are just so vulnerable to actually breaking, or if going through many environment, it could actually start to degrade a little bit, because yeah, it's just no simple sealing to it. Yes, I do get that these are really top quality zippers and will last for a while, but just by putting a little bit of sealing on these zippers, I feel like it will last much longer together with the bag. But it's just a shame that they didn't put any sort of sealing on there. And on top here, what I really like about it is, like, you also have your top pouch up here as well, just to put random stuff that you might need. I have nothing in here at the moment because I just took all of the gear out for cleaning, and also I'm planning to switch to this one for my next trip because I don't need a lot of gear. So yeah, right now there's just pretty much nothing in here. But otherwise, this part, I thought I would be putting my camera in here in the first place when I got this bag, but apparently I ended up using it more for just like random bits that I can access quickly, like some sort of accessories I might need, or just like maybe snacks or jackets in here, or even like the bigger editing wireless headphones in here that it will also fit, just for like simple accessing. And talking about simple accessing, I really wish that I would be able to access my computer faster, because when we open this big flap here, it really exposes the whole compartment just to access the computer. And of course you can just say like, yeah, but you can just open it a little bit and then just access your computer just from up here. Yes and no. If you have like professional camera bodies in here that still produce out a little bit, like if you have like the 1DX size camera in here, it's still best to actually unzip the thing and take the computer out. Otherwise, it will just get a little bit stuck or a little bit hard to come out, simply because this is a really tight fit. It's rated for like 15-inch computer or laptop. I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and it fits in here just a really snug fit pretty much. And a lot of times it actually protrudes out a little bit because of how tight this compartment, like the inner compartment here, is. And I just wish that maybe it could be a little bit deeper so that it wouldn't protrude out a little bit when compared to, of course this is a different style camera bag, but for example if I compare it to this camera bag, there's this compartment right here where I can just put the computer, and it's also rated for like 15-inch, but you can easily put in like 16-inch MacBook Pro in there, like no problem, and you still can fit extra books and documents in there. Whereas with this, I have a hard time fitting extra things in here, and I don't know, I just feel like the design of this part wouldn't be as snug, just a bit more room so you can fit things comfortably and also access things more comfortably without opening the entire bag. So let's say if you're traveling on the train and you don't want, like, you just don't want to open the whole bag so no one knows what equipment you're carrying. I just want to just like at least have an easier access to my computer, and it's really a downside with this bag in my opinion. So yeah, there is that. But otherwise, I do like these zippers that they have, these big, I don't know, hook you call it, that you can do many things with it. Like you can secure it in a more extra way, or just have an easier access to your bag. So yeah. Otherwise, the design of this bag is also really well built in terms of like it's really comfortable with the strap. Not the most comfortable Lowepro bags out there to have on your back for sure, but it's still comfortable enough in a way that you won't really feel a lot of weight on your shoulders when you're carrying this bag. But you know, I'm mainly a messenger style camera bag shooter, so with the backpack it's already like a huge help over the messenger style camera bag. So if you're already like a camera backpack person, backpack person, then I'm not sure how this would fare for you, but to me it's comfortable and good enough. That being said, the vents back here, I feel like they don't do as much of a good job as some other Lowepro cameras, like even the cheaper ones. I know I keep on comparing it to this camera bag, but I will have another video comparing it to this camera bag coming up. But like this one actually gives you a more comfortable back, to be honest. Even if your, for example, computer compartment is really full and tight, this is still really comfortable. Whereas this bag, if you really outfit it, like really full, this part becomes like really uncomfortable, and it feels like there is some sort of wooden plank behind you, things like that, or it's just really pressing your back a little bit and it's not comfortable, and I don't feel like there's enough air flow through this for some reason. So yeah, that's just a little design thing. Also, another downside about this camera bag is the rain pouch underneath here. Having a rain pouch underneath here is both convenient and also kind of like a downside. So the convenient part is just, yes, you can just unlock this part and then grab the rain cover out just to cover the whole bag if you want to just cover it up. But the downside is just this camera bag doesn't stand up right. It will either tilt forward or backwards, and it's just not really a pleasant experience using this bag. It's simply because sometimes you just really want the camera bag to stay up straight, and many other Lowepro camera backpacks will actually stand up straight, but for some reason they cannot make this one design it in a way that it would stand up straight. So it's really a bummer. And yeah, otherwise I don't really have much to complain about this camera bag apart from what I just said, and also maybe the weight is a little bit too heavy for the size, because there are other Lowepro camera bags for the size 450 size that it would actually be a lot lighter or feel a lot lighter than this bag. But maybe it's just the material choice they use for this camera bag. But otherwise, what I also like about this camera bag is about how many inserts they gave you. I don't use all of them. In fact, I took out 7 inserts and just pretty much put it away because I don't use them. This is how I configure my bag to be. So like one body with a grip, another body with a grip and a lens, and maybe a body with a grip and a lens over here, or the 1DX goes here. But a lot of times it's just like random things like my headphones, my Bluetooth speakers, things like that. So it's just easier access when I'm traveling. So it really depends if I'm just going to the shoot or if I'm traveling a long way to the shoot. Like if I'm, for example, today I would have to go to another city in the south of the Netherlands, and I would probably have to pack this, just take my 1DX out, carry it outside with me, and just put like random things in here as well. So yeah, actually I'm still debating of whether to take this bag or this bag, because to be honest, this bag doesn't carry that much less than this 450 bag. But yeah, this bag just looks bigger, but it doesn't carry that much more. And because how this bag is also designed to take like professional style body into these slots, it also means it's really deep if you want to lay your lenses or your other accessories in here. So at least I will probably be using some of the dividers today, like some of the ones that I took out, to actually kind of divide it into half, like half level, so I can just put like accessories that I don't really need that often underneath, and then cover it with the divider, and then put another accessories or maybe lenses that I will need more often on top of that. So it's also really nice and easy to configure this bag to the way you want. There are all sorts of different inserts, and what I really like about this one is there's this inserts here where it's also an insert like a divider, but you can put small things in between. Let's say if you have like extra memory cards or some sort of like SSD that you want to put in here, you can also put it in here, because SSDs are really small nowadays. Or you can just put in like other accessories like filters that you might want to put in there, or spare batteries of like a rare camera that you might have in here. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it about this bag, about the pros and the cons. It's really quick, but I don't feel like making like too long of a video about this bag, simply because it is, at the end of the day, still a camera bag, and it really depends on the photographer, on how they want to configure it. If you take 10 photographers and give them the same bag, they all will have different designs, different configurations for how they shoot. So yeah, this bag at the end of the day is a really nice and sturdy camera bag. It fits in a lot of things, but in the same time, if you outfit everything, it also becomes very uncomfortable, both in terms of weight, because this camera is a little bit heavy in the first place already, and also the weight of your gear inside of you outfit everything in here, and your computer and everything, and that also becomes uncomfortable for your back, because then this part again starts feeling like a plank of wood pretty much, because it's actually not really a lot of room, and it's still very, very stiff. And yeah, you might have to force the zippers in a little bit if you outfit everything, because this bag is also structure-wise not really flexible. So you're putting a lot of stress on the zippers as well if you outfit everything. But there are also a lot of rooms out here where you can add extra accessories. So yeah, you can add so many other things in front here, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that, simply because it's just gonna be a little bit, I don't know, playing with the actual structure a little bit and maybe offset the balance a little bit. So yeah, I have yet to try and mount things on here, even though I don't feel like it. But yeah, do I recommend this bag? I think if you're traveling a lot, I would recommend this bag, simply because of how strong this camera bag is. I don't really recommend it for the weight, but for the like how strong this camera bag is, and also how much gear it fits. I think it's a very nice and versatile bag, because you still can actually fit it like onto the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you when you're actually flying. And yeah, it's a really nice and sturdy bag for that, and it's also a really reliable bag for traveling as well. So for that, I would definitely recommend. But for like an everyday shooting scenario, I think you would probably be better off with something more comfortable, because if you're carrying like on a daily basis or every day, I think even something like the photo active version would be more comfortable to carry, even though you will have to work with that bag to make it work with you. So yeah, but with this one, with the inserts inside and how strong it is, it's also really nice camera bag to have. So yeah, long story short, if you're traveling with your gear a lot and you don't want to baby your gear but just want it to be secure to a certain extent, then this bag is highly recommended. If you're just doing like everyday photography, then I don't really recommend this bag because of how uncomfortable it is. Yeah, for that use in that measure. So yeah, otherwise, if you need a free photography guidebook, it's linked down in the description below. It's absolutely for free. It's on my website. You just click and download. No need to submit your email address, nothing. Yeah, and I hope you find this video a little bit useful, and if not a lot, then little. But yeah, otherwise, I wish you a great time. Stay safe, have fun shooting. Bye for now.